Marth, no! Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. This is not how I envisioned doing things this year, but that's fine. Nintendo basically asked people not to live broadcast the presentation. I think that likely has a lot to do with E3, basically. Just kind of being 100% online this year. In fact, if you wanted to broadcast it, you had to sign up to get their influencer / creator pass. I tried. They basically told me my channel wasn't big enough. So I think that's more or less how you got on the "your name is cleared to do this" list. But I don't think Twitch was actually broadcasting it because they kind of took a stand for everybody, I guess, which is kind of nice. So we were planning on live streaming it. We didn't. Because, I want to play by the rules. I never want to, step on anybody's toes or anything. So, I have it up here. We're going to do some still frame re-commentary, I guess. Because, that's as good as it gets at this point. But there was some good stuff in there. I think you can see my little card down here of things that we may or may not have seen at some point. Some things that I hoped we saw, some things I thought we'd see. And by no means was I expecting all of it. It's only a 40-minute, and that's probably a good 2-hour chunk of information in my card alone. But yeah, we had some good bits. There were some surprising bits. We'll go over those when we get there. So welcome to my not so quite live reaction to the Nintendo Direct at E3 2021. All right, so first up, I guess we should talk about Kazuya. Yeah. They opened the Direct with the new Smash Fighter from Tekken. So I'm not really like a brawler type fighter for Smash. I prefer my swords and projectiles, but this is fine, I guess. I wasn't really particularly hyped about Kazuya showing up, but for those of you who like Tekken, for those of you more classic fighter fans, I'm sure you're probably pretty jazzed about this. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it, honestly, other than the fact they threw my man Marth off of a cliff into a what I presume to be a pool of magma. So, not cool, like at all. We also got this bit, Life is Strange, the remaster as well as the new True Colors is coming to Switch. That's exciting, I think. I've never played Life is Strange. I kind of always wanted to, but I never got a chance to. So maybe, I always have this opinion, right? If you put it on the Switch, I will probably play it. And I bought Doki Doki Literature Club the other day, and I never personally experienced the game hands-on. I'd seen the Game Theory Let's Play of it, but it's on the Switch, so you might as well. So there's that. I'm sure people were relatively jazzed about this, I think. Alright, so Astria Rising is actually one of the dopest looking games I've seen in a long time. I'm really jazzed to see this come to Switch. I was gonna get it on Steam, honestly, like I was that hyped about it. But now that I know it's coming to Switch, probably just gonna get it on Switch, to be honest with you. I love everything about this particular game, the aesthetic, everything. And it's probably one of my overall highlights for E3 in general. So I'm looking forward to whatever that is when we get a chance to get some hands-on with it. I'll probably be streaming it if I'm allowed to. Or doing some kind of content with it whenever that drops. We also have the new Mario Party Superstars show up, and I thought for a second it was like DLC for Super Mario Party or whatever that was on the Switch, but this is actually a standalone game of like old maps, which hit me kind of in the nostalgia bone a little bit. And I guess everything is also online compatible, so that's kind of cool. Was pretty psyched about that. Overall, don't know if I'll pick it up. I know Jenna's not really a huge Mario Party kind of person. But I guess if I could play it online with other people, then that might be worth a go, yeah. So we might pick that up. that might be something interesting that, you know, maybe we can do with members or I don't know. We'll see. I'm not really like that big into Mario Party, but it's every once in a while I get the mood to like play it for some reason. I can't explain, but you know, it's cool that they did that. It's a nice little trip down nostalgia lane. We got some of the most hype Metroid news that we haven't had in a while. And its name is Metroid Dread. This is the 5th, I guess, 2D Metroid that they've shown. Which is pretty exciting, honestly. Like, you can see the title card here if I can grab it ever so elegantly. Yeah. This looks really, really good. And they did mention that they were still working on Metroid Prime 4. They had no update for us outside of that. So, I guess we'll take that for what it's worth. But this actually looks really good. Like, I've played one of the original Metroid 2Ds. Haven't really played any of the Primes, but I'm a fan of the Metroid series. You know, it's like Mario Party, right? Every once in a while I'll get in that mood to play like a Metroid type game. That looked really good. Like, I genuinely kind of think I want to pick that up. I'll be honest. So, we'll probably be taking a look at that at some point too. Like, that was pretty good. I feel like that was a good day for Metroid fans. I know a lot of people were looking forward to Metroid Prime 4. But this is good too, right? Metroid Prime Dread, pretty sweet. I think it's coming out this year also. I think. So, good stuff. Overall, pretty good stuff for that. After this, they kind of went into this like highlights reel of like newer games or like stuff that's returning to the like franchises that maybe got set aside for a little while. There was more or less a highlights reel of that. There were some takeaways, like we had the Monster Hunter update, we had a Mario Golf update, there was another Just Dance. Sure. But this, WarioWare, which is like, if the early era Nintendo 3DS had a fever dream, that's basically what the WarioWare games are. And I love it. So I kind of was like, hey, I'm genuinely low-key kind of interested in this. Maybe we'll pick this up. I haven't really played any other WarioWare games, like ever, practically. Like, I understand the gist of the games, and I understand the charm of the games. But I don't know, this one really kind of like hit different, I guess. So we may do something with that. We may pick that up. I don't know if it's an instant buy for me, but I'm sure a lot of people were happy to see it. We also had Shin Megami Tensei 5 show up, which was pretty sweet. Pretty excited about that as well. Again, the closest thing I've come to playing a Shin Megami Tensei game is Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is, you know, SMT TMS backwards. So, but it looked good. The mechanics and stuff, kind of like recruiting enemy allies like that by talking to them, like that was kind of cool. It felt very Fire Emblem-y, but more in like an anime RPG kind of way. So yeah, I mean, it looked good. Again, I don't have a whole lot of experience with the Shin Megami Tensei series. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of its legacy. I know 5 is coming. I didn't pick up 3. I thought about it, but then I decided to maybe wait until it went on discount, because I had heard some not so great things, including stuff like compressed audio, for example. So I was like, we'll wait. But this looks good. I don't know if it's an instant buy. Again, there's a lot of games in my backlog already, and there's some other games that got showcased and honestly didn't get showcased. I'm kind of like, maybe that's a higher priority. So, yeah, overall it looks good. I think Shin Megami Tensei fans will be happy about it. But yeah, I don't know if it's an instant buy for me. We'll have to see. Alright, so I'll mention this real quick, because again, this is another series that I don't have a whole lot of experience with, but I understand the legacy of the series, right? So I feel like I have to at least mention it. Danganronpa got a slick new skin. I guess they're porting all of the other games. They expanded some kind of like board game version into a standalone game that was currently, or like previously just like a mini game, I want to say, something along those lines. So overall, like, it looked cool. the premise of the game seemed interesting and something that I would be curious into checking out. So I'm kind of putting this on my radar too. There's a lot of stuff that I was kind of expecting, just from a familiarity aspect, that I didn't get in this direct. But I got exposed to a lot of other games that maybe I haven't given a whole lot of attention to previously. That's kind of making me check them out now, and that's what I love about Nintendo Directs. Is they expose me to other stuff that maybe gets my gears turning a little bit, and this was one of them. So I definitely have my eye out for Danganronpa as well, whenever that comes out later this year, I guess. Dudes, the thing that I wasn't expecting, or at least as the direct was going on, this Fatal Frame, this was something I wasn't expecting, that I got more excited about than I maybe expected myself to. This was pretty hype. I'm gonna be real. This was pretty hype. I was pretty jazzed about this. I'm not really into horror games very frequently, but the concept and everything of Fatal Frame, it was pretty dope. And I feel like a lot of people maybe missed the original. So putting it on the Switch, obviously, is pretty great. I'm looking forward to whatever this comes to be. And, maybe we'll play it around Halloween time or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. But was genuinely pretty psyched about that. We also had the new Mario and Rabbids game. If you didn't get a chance to play that series prior, I'd look into it. It's pretty fun. It was kind of a little gem that slid under a bunch of people's radar, at least when the first one came out. So now that we're getting a sequel, and we have Rabbid Rosalina on top of it, like, that's pretty dope. There's just a lot of good. Oh, we have a Luma too. I didn't see Luma before. If you're interested at all, like, it's not a typical Mario game, right? They have blasters and stuff. It's like, it's a strategy game ultimately. If you're on the fence or you thought it looked interesting, definitely check out some demos. I don't know if they're doing that in the Treehouse. The Treehouse is actually going on right now, and I'm missing it. But this is maybe something to keep on your radar. I know that I really liked the first one when it was out. But, I like puzzle strategy games, so that's just kind of how I am. So, but this is a good one. If it slid under your radar before, give it a look-see this time around, dudes. I literally cannot. You saw the footage of me freaking out, right? I put that in. I recorded myself watching the direct live and then reacting to it. So obviously, if I had any good clips, it would probably come from that. What? No! 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 They brought Advance Wars back? Oh my god!
Play the first two Advance Wars.
Yes!
Advance Wars 1+2 reboot camp.
Yes!
Nintendo Switch this holiday.
Yes!
On Nintendo.
Oh my god, that's incredible!
How is everything?
That's amazing! I don't know if I've added any, but I know I'm going to add this one because, oh my god. Bro, Advance Wars is, like, it's what we got for Fire Emblem, like, early on. like Advance Wars kind of paved the way for Fire Emblem to come in. And it... Oh my god. This series means a lot to me. And to have this show up in the direct that I was not... I mean, it wasn't anywhere near my cart, right? So, like... Oh my god. I freaked out about this. I legitimately freaked out when they announced this. I will be getting this. I will be pre-ordering this as soon as I possibly can. It is incredible that we're getting some kind of, like, Advance Wars remake, basically. And I was not anticipating that at all. I don't know where it's come from. I didn't even pay attention to who was developing it. I didn't even know if they told us all that. I was just in constant freak out mode. I'm probably going to watch the trailer again at some point and just be eternally happy about it a little bit more. But this was, without a doubt, the highlight of the Nintendo Direct for me. Like, this announcement was by far the highlight, like hardcore. They did talk about Breath of the Wild too, which we'll talk about in just a second. But this was easily the winner for me, hands down. So jazzed about this. We're doing something on this when it comes out. I don't know what, but we will. And oh god, I love it. I love it so much. This was like, I'm gushing. All right, we're gonna move on. I think you guys get my. I think you understand my my affection for this title. So titles, actually, we're getting the first two. So yeah, really happy that this was a thing that they showed. In conclusion, for the Direct, there was a fair amount of Zelda stuff, right? So the last like 7 minutes, I think, was basically just Zelda stuff. They talked about the Age of Calamity DLC that was coming out. They talked about Skyward Sword, which is coming out. They talked about this, which is a Zelda-themed Game & Watch, which is pretty neat. And they kind of wrapped it up in a bow, saying like, "Hey, this is all we really have planned for the 35th anniversary. Just be aware of that. We don't have any other Switch games planned for the year," and blah blah blah. And then that's why I was like, "Oh, they're really just gonna drop this on us? Like, they're not gonna talk about Breath of the Wild 2? Really? That's how they do it? Because they trolled us before. Aonuma trolled us before, saying like, "Oh, look at Skyward Sword. It has a stamina meter just like Breath of the Wild. It's so great." No, that's not great. It's one of the worst things about Breath of the Wild is how rain can come along and just sweep you to your death. So when this got announced, like, I thought it was cool. It was pretty neat. I was excited about it. But then my man comes back over here and is like, "Oh, by the way, Breath of the Wild 2, here's a little more trailer for you. We're going into the sky." All right. And there's so much to unpack on this. Like, bro, Link has like this crazy arm thing that happens. I'm pretty sure Zelda like falls into a pit of something. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to like pinpoint it here. Just absolute insanity. Like, I'm sure they're going to be doing like crazy reactionary stuff, like deciphering every inch of this new trailer that we got. There's just so much happening in this trailer that I can't unpack it in the next like 30 seconds. So it's coming out in 2022. It's going to be a year late for the Zelda anniversary. Yes, that's fine. Based on what happened to Zelda, based on the gameplay we're seeing, I don't think we get to play as Zelda, which is a little disappointing. Like, I wanted to be able to use both Link and Zelda and like interchange between them to do like different puzzle completions and things like that. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be much more true to what Breath of the Wild was originally. So I guess that's fine. I'll just play as everybody in Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity DLC coming soon. So, which we're getting the cycle. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Zelda's riding the cycle. I guess you get something at least. So yeah, this was cool. This was definitely a highlight for me. I still think Advance Wars was probably the most exciting thing to get announced. Like, again, I freaked out when they showed that. And I knew, too. As soon as I saw Orange Army, I was like, what? No. Anyway, you probably saw the clip. Anywho, that's it. I think that's as far as I'm going to push this. Because I don't know if I don't know. We're going to push the video and see if it gets claimed. We'll see. I genuinely have no idea at this point. Yeah, that was it. That was the Nintendo Direct. I'm probably going to catch some of the Treehouse later. But I wanted to get this video out to you guys so we could like talk about it, you know, together and just kind of see where everybody's head was. I feel like for me, there were enough like little moments to make one big experience. There wasn't stuff like a Mario Kart 9. There was no new Fire Emblem stuff. Splatoon 3 didn't get any kind of attention. There was nothing about the Nintendo Switch Pro, which honestly, Nintendo doesn't really like to talk hardware most of the time, so it wasn't really too surprising. yeah, it was interesting, to say the least. The things that they chose to highlight, but you know, the game industry in 2022 or 2021 rather, the gaming industry in 21 is basically what the film industry was in 20. It just kind of got hit hard. So stuff that was in development last year for games probably still able to continue development for the most part. Maybe a couple delays. But the stuff that was coming out a year after probably got shifted to backlog level stuff, just so they could focus on the things that they knew they were going to try and get out that year with the limited resources that they had. So I wasn't really expecting a whole lot for 2021. 2022, I think, is going to be game overload, like legitimately an overload of games for us to handle. So my recommendation, if you were disappointed with the Direct, that's okay. You know, I was pretty happy with what we got overall. Take the time to work on your backlog, because 2022 is going to be absolutely insane. Just take my word on that, okay? Like, I've been gaming for a long time, all right? I have a good feel over the industry and how things evolve, and just trust me on this. All right? If you've never listened to Big Bro for anything in your life, listen to me now. 2022 is going to be a lot of stuff. All right? 2023 maybe even worse. So get your backlog down now while you can, so you can fully appreciate all of the splendors 2022 has to offer next year. And hopefully things will be a lot more back to how things used to be, where we could live stream Nintendo Directs and not risk getting DMCA'd. Huh? E3? Can we do that next year? Is that cool with you? We'll appreciate it. I would also appreciate if you subscribe to this channel so that I can get big enough and then E3 will allow me to stream things because they'll deem me worthy. Yeah. No salt. I promise, no salt. But let me know your thoughts on Nintendo Direct for 2021 E3 as well. Share them. Share them if you got them. Just be nice, okay? I know that Nintendo Directs tend to bring out the worst in some people. Don't let yourself be one of those people. All right? Yeah, that's all I got for you right now. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Subscribe. Come on back for more. And until then, I will catch you next time.